I'm Ryan Stannard. I'm the director at Stannard Family Homes. A little bit about me is I'm a carpenter by trade. My dad was a builder for a long time, and as growing up, I was always going to be a builder. So I ran a subcontract carpentry business for a long time, which led into me running my own building company, following in the footsteps of my father. So my father's a builder in Victoria. I'm a builder in South Australia. A lot of people think Stannard Family Homes, it's a family business, but it's not. I set it up because I like to build good family homes. So that's a bit about me. I started the Builders Mentoring Program at the time. I'd done a lot of business coaching before, but hit a glass ceiling with where I was going with it because it was more generic sort of coaching. So when I joined APB, the main focus for me was I believe that my business is running pretty well. My systems are all pretty good, which will probably be proven wrong over the coming years. But at the moment, that's my thought. I needed to get rid of the troughs and hollows that we have in our cash flow as a builder. So my company runs solely on referrals at the moment, and we can comfortably build 10 to 15 homes a year from our referrals, but that makes me enough money to create troughs and hollows, whereas I need to build 20 to 25 homes a year. So I need to get a marketing process so that I can get the rest of those houses so that I can keep at the top of the peak all year round. I've been with the APB about 3 or 4 months now, and working with the guys at APB, I've started off working on my marketing strategies, and just to see where I can go with that. The tools that you guys have got to help us with that sort of stuff is unbelievable. Easy to follow videos that we can just go along and work with. Also, we're looking at now developing a new website, so they've got guys that can help us to build the website to suit exactly how we need it to read. So I found that to be quite useful. Also going through the KPI spreadsheet, which is very early days for me at the moment. I've got a lot of work to work on that in the coming months, but I can see how powerful that is going to be moving forward in my business, especially in relation to the whipper, so that we know exactly where the jobs are sitting, exactly where the company is on a financial basis all the time, the whole way through the year. And that's going to be so important, because the way I've been my whole life as a builder is you half the time you're flying blind. When you've got money, you probably haven't got money. When you haven't got money, you know you haven't got money. So having that knowledge is going to be so powerful. The program itself is very clear, I believe. So I'm working through it with my other staff in the company. So we're working through it together, and we're finding it quite clear to follow through. I think the way that I've instructed Andy, the way that I want to work, is probably not following the program exactly the way you guys have got it set out to be, but it's the way I want it to be, so that I can get this marketing strategy up and running, and the marketing strategy, the new website, the lead generation tool, so I can get all of that happening, and then the rest of the business I can start to work on through in the background. Meeting with Andy, my coach, every month, going over everything. At the end of every meeting, he puts into the spreadsheet and tells me what I've got to have done before the next meeting. So, which puts pressure on me and my team to make sure that we get everything done. Otherwise, it's just a waste of time if we're not getting everything done on the spreadsheet. And I've told Andy I want to move on this at a fast pace. So I've dedicated team members in my team to be working on this pretty solidly. So we got the pressure on ourselves to try and make this happen so that we can see the results. My favourite topic is probably a little bit limited at the moment because of my time that I've been with APB, but I've really enjoyed the marketing side of things, and especially the live event that I was at on Friday. It's a shame I couldn't stay for the last bit of it because I had to shoot off because of family commitments at school, but that event was great. It really, being face-to-face with you guys, sitting in a classroom with other builders, being able to talk to other builders, because I was saying to the guys in the office when I came back on Monday morning, every time I meet builder at Bunnings, I chat to them and they're all got that much work that they can't keep up. They're all doing so great, but it's all just bull dust, really. We don't talk to other builders. Other builders don't socialise with each other, and if they do, then you're never ever going to get the honest feedback. Whereas talking to the guys there on Friday, we're all just open and honest, talking about our businesses, exactly where we're at. And some guys have been members of yours for years, and their businesses are obviously in a lot different position to where mine is now, being 4 months in. But that will be me in 4 or 5 years' time. Maybe not builders that are my competition, maybe, but yeah, I would recommend it to other builders for sure. When I first had a business coach, I remember going home and saying to my wife, the best thing about having a business coach, even though they weren't the best business coach for me at the time, is I've got someone to talk to about my problems. Nobody wants to listen to your problems unless you got someone that's actually trying to coach you and help you with your problems. And it's like having a big brother. In the business essence, it's great. I think it's the fact that it's specifically set up for builders. The first coach that I had, he had a background in sales and had ran multiple businesses and done business coaching for a long period of time. So he helped with my sales side of things. He wasn't very good with the numbers side of things, but he really taught me how to sell. And we went over a lot of the stuff that you were talking about the other day. I went through with him, and he helped me to create that, because before I had him, I didn't even realize I had a sales process. He asked me, the first thing when he walked in was, "What's your sales process?" I said, "I don't have one." I said, "I hate salesmen." And he goes, what do you do? How do you get work?" I said, "Well, I talk to people about building their house. I go and talk to them about building their house." He goes, "Well, what do you think you're doing?" "You're selling." So then it was like, well, I had to learn to sell. So then I worked through that with him, the business side of things. And then I had another business coach after that, which was more, she was more from a lifestyle coaching background, did a lot of personality stuff, which helped with creating the team that I've got now that I work with, creating the personalities that we can all work together harmoniously and create the whole systems to work. But once again, it made a happy work environment. The sales were working as good as they could with the people that we had coming through the door. But it was the stuff specifically to building, doing the numbers, doing all of that sort of stuff. And some of these coaches didn't understand the difference between margin and markup and stuff like that. So I wasn't charging enough, because thought I was going to make 25%. In the end, I'm only making 20. Or if I was wanting to make 20, I'm only making 12, 15, just enough to cover my overheads. And this went on for probably 5 years. I wasn't making enough money even just to survive. Yeah, because of that one simple thing. Yeah, but I worked that out myself in between there and APB. But simple things like that. APB is specific for builders. That's the thing I like about it, yeah.